everyone to WWH Podcast episode number 12, and I am here with Johnny V, Levinator, and special guest Equinox this week. Now, last week we did agree that whoever won the world title match was gonna be here, but the loser was not gonna be here, and it turns out both of them aren't here this week. Demi's still celebrating her title win, while Fields he went with his word and he's no longer here, at least for this week's podcast. But let's talk to Levinator and Johnny V because they opened this week's showdown with with the Devil's Rejects. I guess it's now official for next week. It'll be Devil's Rejects versus Johnny V and Levinator with the tag title rematch on the line. Whoever wins this, they will be going to the Royal Rumble for the World Tag Team titles against Bullet Club, Jay Gordon, and Tio Jacoba. How are you guys doing, and what are your guys' thoughts heading into next week?
Oh, dear Lord. Colby's face when I brought out JV. Mwah! Priceless.
You're telling me.
MasterCard doesn't pay for moments like that.
Exactly. That was a Kodak moment if I've ever seen one, and this company and this business is not ready for what we are about to unleash. I'm old school. Lev's old school, hence the name, but you got to understand, we grew up with a plethora of amazing tag teams at our disposal. The British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, Demolition, the Road Warriors, you name them all down the line, and not one of them can carry both of our fucking jockstraps, and that's just the way it's going to be. Colby and Xavier are going to learn it right now, and come the Royal Rumble, the Bullet Club is going to tuck their tails and walk their asses home. Mark my words.
That's right, WWH. You are talking to the soon-to-be new World Tag Team Champions. We're old school. We respect this business. You respect this business, you're on our good side. You disrespect this business, so you're going to get a reality check.
All right, and of course, let's talk about Showdown a little bit. We have Nick Henderson won his match against Finn Balor. That was probably one of the matches of the night. Travis Levette beat Equinox in a hard match as well. And Equinox is here. Equinox, what's going on through your mind with that? I mean, you came off a tough match, but it's a tough loss right there against Travis Levette. Travis Levette had a lot to prove, it seems, because he just lost the world title match, and it seems like he needed to show that he's still credible in some way.
It's the hardest battle that I've fought in a very long time. Travis Levette, he brought everything to the table, and I was so close. I know in a rematch I can do it again. I can take him to his limit. There's no doubt in my mind. He had everything I could muster and came out still on top. But I promise you, one more match, and we'll steal the show again. Because that's just what we do. We steal the show.
I've noticed a lot that whenever you lose a match, you go for a rematch. Is this something that is this becoming a thing with you there, Equinox? Like,
if someone beats me, I'm all for trying to prove myself and not lose another match against that person. I'm all for beating that person to try to prove a point, saying, hey, on any given day, lightning does not strike twice.
okay.
Well, lightning might not strike twice, but I can promise you one thing, Equinox. You cross Levitt again, fire's going to strike twice.
So wait, so is this possibly if Equinox is challenging you to a rematch, well, not you, Lev, but your friend there, Travis, do you think that he will accept?
I don't think Levitt has any problems with accepting a rematch challenge. I don't think Levitt has any problems facing anyone that wants to challenge him. Right now, though, his focus is the world title and on people that he can beat to prove he's ready for a rematch at that title. And I think Equinox bought it. Levitt beat him. If he wants to know it again, I'm pretty sure Levitt will do it again.
And this, granted, is not out of disrespect. Levitt is a very complex character, but me, I'm all about trying to break them down. And that's what I plan to do next time. Travis Levette, I promise you next time you will eat the super kick. You will eat the warp
Oh,
reality.
look
You
at
eat
that.
the
Shot
dimension
of whiskey
past.
for the talking man there. Good job.
And you will learn what I'm about.
All
I
right.
promise you that.
All right. Now, here's a big question here, Equinox. The Royal Rumble match. You haven't really said much about it. Are you throwing your name into it, or what do you? Where's your stance on this?
The Rumble, it's what, 30 men, I believe?
Yes, it is 30 people.
30
Yeah, come on.
people,
Join the
women,
party, bro.
men,
Join the party.
doesn't matter. Point is, I could compete in it. I could compete in another match. I'll give the Rumble a shot. I'll put my name in there. I'll try to win. I'll win. If I don't, more power to you, whoever does. But if I do, Demi, Randy, whoever you guys, or who's ever champion, because I know Randy has his rematch clause coming up, or whenever he wants to use it, I will come after the World Championship right then and there that same night. Or I could cash it off at WrestleMania.
Well,
Doesn't
what do
matter to me.
you catch it in? What do you mean? Like,
I could pull a John Cena pro, you know. I'm not
uh,
going to, but I could. You never know.
well, as far as I know, you were number one contender while Fields is champion.
Yes, I was.
Now you're
Technically, I am.
now Demi's champion, so I don't know if that still counts per se. Because you did because we've noticed we've been watching your status during this whole open challenge. You didn't really call. I guess you didn't really cash it in. You didn't call out Fields per se. What was going on there in your mind?
It was all about the number of challenges he had. He's good. He's a busy man. He defends against whoever the hell he defended against before Travis Levette. Did he have a challenger? I don't think so. Travis, now Demi, and he was. Who was his next challenger going to be? I don't
Like,
know. Remind me of the name.
well, it was gonna be Ryan Payne if he retained.
Ryan. That brings up so much stuff. The guy just Baron couldn't handle Demi that night.
You
But it's
mean
up
you mean Fields?
to Fields, whatever you want to call him nowadays. I don't care. Point is, hmm,
What's the
point is
point?
whether
You got to speak up, Equinox. No, no. Remember, this is an audio. We don't need dead air.
whether it's Demi, whether it's Fields, I don't care who the champion is. I'm gonna walk into the Royal Rumble. I'll win my other match if I have another match. I'll go into this Rumble. I'll win it. Plain and simple.
Okay.
There you go.
That's what I can
Boom.
say. It.
All right.
That's
Now,
simple enough.
all right. Now, Johnny V, you said that you threw your name into the Royal Rumble match as well.
I think I was one of the first one, right? I was one of the first fuckers that did that. I was like, hey, put me in there. Screw it. Let's do it.
Yeah, you were the first one. Uh, now, are you having that same mindset, or are you just like, you know what? If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't.
Oh,
What
here's
kind
my
of
point. All right. Number one, my first and foremost goal is that the big man and I walk out with the World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships and restore order to the shittiest division I've seen in a long time. That's the number one
Over.
goal. All right. Now the other point too is just I know some of the guys from the podcast. I know some of the guys crossing path in the locker room, but the end result is always the same. I just want to get into this clusterfuck and put some boots in some asses. Now, if some chump is lucky enough to throw the greatest of all time over the top rope, so be it. But if you don't think I'm gonna give it every goddamn thing I got, you're out of your mind. Now, do I win it? Do I get to go on to WrestleMania? Well, you're damn well right. And I will be there that night too. And I'll put on a show greater than anybody else could do. But my main focus is those World Tag Team titles, then the Royal Rumble. Doesn't mean I'm not going to compete for one or the other a little bit less or blah, blah, blah. But you better believe I'll be there You better believe I'll kick ass, and you better believe I'll put on a show because the fans come to see the JVster.
And the
Now,
Lev stuff.
well, okay, all right. Well, wait a minute. Let's say that Levinator is not going to be in the Royal Rumble match. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, I'm only doing one match. I don't need to go for world titles right now. I'm quite happy with me and JV going for those tag titles and work our way back up.
Okay. Now, let's say if Travis Levette is in there, or worse, Nick Sanderson's in there in the same ring as you there, JV. And these two are the two guys that you basically have been like hugely supportive of as of late, correct?
Oh yeah,
So when that I guess number comes, are you gonna basically are you friendships out the window basically for that night?
of course. I mean, even if Big Lev was in the match and we were both walking down in the aisle with the tag straps on, we step in that ring, tag straps are off, we're singles again. We got to go, big guy. We got to do it. We got to put on
Damn
a show.
straight.
People paid hard money to walk in that door. I'm going to give them a show for the lifetime. So I love Nick Sanderson. I love me some Randy Fields. I don't have a problem with 3/4 of the roster, the Finn Balor's, the Damages, and all these guys. But if you're in the ring with me that night, and you cross my path, I'll put my foot square up your ass and I'll knock your teeth through the back of your fucking skull.
All right, point taken. Now let's talk about demolition for a little bit. We already have the hardcore championship tournament going on. Kurt Orton and Killer are in the finals, I believe, and Soraya Waters beat Trish Stratus, and also a new tag team debuted on Demolition as well. I believe it's the Order, Blackout and Phantom. So, have you guys have been paying any attention to the new talents that are in WWH right now? Do you see any potentials that are heading to Showdown when their time has come?
Well, Killer's trying to get back on Showdown for reasons that I don't really understand. Because since he was on Showdown, all he's done is got his ass kicked. He should stay on Demolition where he might actually have a chance of being a star. But I like this Blackout and the Order guy. I think they have potential. I think they can go far. But they're only going to go as far as me and JV let them when they come to the main roster. Um, and of course, our favourite person, John Blade. We love John Blade. And if he can get it back up to Showdown, all the best for him.
It sounds about right. I mean, he is the best wrestler ever. So how come
Ever.
ever? So so it's very tough
Okay.
to. Oh, come on, Johnny B. Can you
Oh, man,
not?
you guys almost got me to break kayfabe there. What the hell? God damn, a shot of whiskey to the working man. Here's a shot of whiskey to John Blade. Here you go, bro.
Yeah. I think eventually I hate to say it, but I think John Blade's probably gonna make it to Showdown one of these days. I mean, he's gonna get that little kick, you can say. I mean, he had a decent record on Showdown, and and even though it was against weak opponents, he still has what 6 or 7 and 10
I think it's
record.
about 6-6 right now. I think he's
Yeah,
starting to get to about 6-6 now.
something like that. Yeah. So let's go over the demolition card real quick because there's some interesting matches there. Some new people too. We Bailey just signed with WWH, so she's debuting against Genevieve. Adam Cole is also debuting. He's facing against Marius.
I've
Uh,
heard too much about Marius. I don't like this guy.
all right. The Rock versus Brady. Adam.
I told you the Rock was going to Demolition.
Well, yeah. Adam Knight versus John Blade. The Hicks sisters versus Darkness Poison, which is Rose and Morgan McGinn. Soraya Waters versus Tarja Kingston versus Annalise Vance. Blackout with Phantom versus Harlow Michaels with Chris Orton. And the main event, a tag team match with Key Morbid and Killer going against Chris Orton and Kurt Orton.
So now the Ordens are tagging together.
I
Blood
was
does
just going to
stick
say, are they
together.
brothers? Are they brothers, third cousins?
I
How
think
does
it's
that
like
work?
half brothers. The way Cowboys
that's-
spread his seed.
Oh, they share like a fifth uncle or some weird shit like that. Are they from Alabama?
Oh,
The Ozarks?
I don't know that for sure. Okay, I don't know.
Do we have a head count on how many Ortons we actually have? I think we're up to like, what, 38, 39 right now?
Last I checked, there was like 50.
Yeah,
So
there's like
It's like a
Randy,
STD.
Chris, Kurt, Billy Bob, Suzanne. I mean, there's a lot of fucking Ortons in here.
yeah, uh, but some of them are in demolition. So there you go. Let's go over the showdown card real quick because this one looks like a pretty
That could
good.
actually be a WWH drinking game. Every time you see an Orton on, take a shot, and nobody would be able to fucking do anything for the rest of their life. Swear to God.
Yeah, like you'd make it a third card, third match of the card, and be done. Just done.
Be gone,
Wait,
blitzed.
so if Johnny V played this drinking game, he would be long dead already.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be in Betty Ford right now. Lev would be carrying my goofy ass into Betty Ford, going, "This guy needs help. He's seen too many Ortons." They wouldn't know what the hell he's talking about. They would just go, "Okay, room 27. He's been here before. His stuff's still here."
Oh, jeez. All right. Okay.
Betty
Let's.
Ford basically a revolving door for JV right now. Seriously.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's talk about the showdown card real quick.
Yes, let's
Uh,
do.
First match, we've got Niklaus Frost versus Ashley Blaze. That's the opening contest. The match two, we've got R&D Inc. Rage and Damage versus Luvia Luna and Chris Kane. So basically, this is father daughter versus tag team. Uh, basically, that's
How
what it is.
scary is it that Chris Kane is a father?
Well,
Whoa. Chris Kane
Point
is the.
well taken.
When the fuck did this happen?
Luvia Luna's, I guess, his adopted daughter or something like that, or I believe. I don't know for sure. Match three, Aphrodite versus Lance Adams. Match four, Equinox. This is your match, CM Punk versus Equinox, right here.
Yeah,
Uh, match
that's going to
five,
be probably one of the matches of the cards.
yeah. Match five, Chris Matthews versus Ryan Payne. That one would probably be a match of the night right there. At least one of them.
Not
Match,
quite, but
it'll be
go ahead and
there.
finish because you're gonna say the match of the night coming up here. So go ahead, say it.
All
Match
right,
six.
match six, tag team rematch on the line. The Devil's Rejects, Xavier and Colby Ryan versus Johnny V and Levinator.
Oh, so sweet a sound to know I'm going to have Colby Ryan in a ring with me.
And finally, the main event, the World Heavyweight title, the rematch from last week, Demi May versus Randy Fields. With a few scheduled appearances by Lucky Lawlett, Pandora Barrett, Naomi Martin, Ace Andrews, Drake Darkness, and Jacob Cass. That looks like a pretty big card right there.
That
It's
is
tight.
any card that has Johnny V and Levinator on the same team on the same card. That's a sellout.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. And you're not talking about the title rematch being on the line. You're talking about, are these guys even going to walk out the ring the same as they were before? Because they're going to walk out wondering why they were even born. Straight up, no lie. They're going to question humanity when we're done with them.
Okay, well
You got to.
let me ask you guys this though. Like, let's be realistic. JV, since your last match against Pandora was your first match back with after the surgery, are you still kind of nervous? Like, you hope that your body is still good because this
Well,
is
why
the
do you think I went and found the genetic freak known as Levinator? Have you seen this some bitch lately? This guy's a fucking animal, for crying out loud. I don't pick a tag partner just to pick a tag partner. I find a man. I ain't dumb. I'm one of the smartest some bitches in the business. So if I'm going to get back in there, and I'm not quite 100%, but rest assured, I'm goddamn close. But if I'm not as close as I want to be, you better believe I'm going to find the biggest fucking freak I can that I can trust, and those two qualifications alone, there's only two guys on the planet that could do that, my brother and Lev, and here we are.
well, what I mean by that is, do you still have staples on your stomach?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be taped up. I'm gonna be taped up. I'm gonna be hurting. They're gonna take advantage of it. The problem is they don't have a Lev in their corner. They got a Colby or an Xavier. I feel really bad for them.
All right.
I feel really bad for Xavier because he's not the one that opened his mouth and got him into this situation. But you can be damn sure my foot's still going to go into his mouth as much as it goes into Colby's. I wanted backup. JV wanted backup. It works. We trust each other entirely. And it might be my first match back. You might be thinking, hey, can the big guy still go? Watch Showdown. You're going to find out how much I can go.
All right. Now let's talk about the Royal Rumble for a little bit.
Well, hold on.
Uh,
Let's back up here. We're still on Showdown. Equinox is here. Equinox, how
okay.
confident do you feel going in against CM Punk? Because CM
That
Punk
is
got some skills. He got some skills. I want to know your mind frame. How are you going to attack this guy? What are you thinking? What's your mind frame? What are you going to do to, back up that claim that you're the number one contender? You going to put on a show, baby?
I'm gonna do the show like nobody else can. Better than you, respectfully, JB. Respectfully better than Travis Levent. Respectfully better than John Barron and Demi themselves. My match is going to. How do you put it? I'll perform every match on that damn card. I'm
That's the
going
night.
to take CM Punk and his face and put it directly in the mat. And when I'm done, he could either tap out or I could come off the top and crush his little ego. Because his ego needs breaking. And that's what I do. Come on,
Well, there you
match.
go.
I will break it. Because ego is just what I do.
you
Before
sure?
we get to the Royal Rumble, just before we get to the Royal Rumble, though, the main event. Am I the only one that's worried that both of these guys beat the hell out of each other last week, and maybe we might not see the best out of either of them? I mean, how are you going to
That's
come over what you just did 7 days ago? I'm really worried about this. And both of these guys are the ultimate of competitors. There's a reason one was the champ, one is the champ. I totally get that. But I'm a little worried. Maybe this should have been saved for the Royal Rumble. We're 7 days out. We're seeing this again. Are the fans tired of it? Are they burnt out? How does everybody feel about that?
well. Here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. Fields obviously he was. I mean, we all saw on Showdown. He was not in a good mood once he lost the title. So he came to Riley and said, "Look, I want my rematch next week. I'm not waiting for until the Rumble." So, and last I checked, Riley spoke to Demi and Demi said he can have the rematch whenever he wants. And that's how usually a rematch is. It's
No,
not usually,
I
But
get it. I
you
get
know,
it. But my
we
question is who here thinks, because my honest opinion is both of them are not going to bring it as hard as they brought it last week.
that's a
And
good
that could affect
question.
the outcome. Fields could walk away with this. He's got number one, he's got the talent. But Demi's now got instead of 20 pounds of gold on her shoulder, she's got 40. So that's weighing on her mind. Coming up the biggest match of her life. She's already been partying all week like she should, but I just don't see how both of these competitors match what they did last week with only 7 days rest. That's hard. We've done all this. All of us here have done it. It's not that easy. You're talking about doing two pay-per-views in a row, basically.
And
Do they
also if
got
you
it in them?
and plus if you also think about it, she has to kind of in a way, even though she doesn't care that because her brother's going to take care of themselves, but she's most likely probably going to watch that match too. And not only that, think of if her brothers do beat you in theory, even though you guys are like, no, not going to happen, but let's say in theory they do, right? She's going to be wondering about the tag match with her best friend going against her brothers. And
I'm
while
more worried about Demi going into the main event having previously signed the death certificates of her brothers than I am about her brothers winning. But nonetheless, I get your point. Either she's signing the death certificates for them and she's got to go wrestle, or she's worried about them fighting her best friend. Either
yeah,
way, the girl's got heavy dope on her shoulders. Fields is pissed. But like I said, these guys, they gave it all last week. I'm just worried that they're a main event. They deserve that spot. No questions asked. But can they both deliver like they did last week? Because I have a feeling, here's my prediction. This match isn't going to be as close as last week. Last week was a nail biter. Everybody in the back was watching the monitor. Everybody in the locker room was hovering around that monitor going, who the hell is going to win? And it was amazing. This week, I just get the feeling one of them's going to show up, and the other one, it's going to be kind of lackluster because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I don't know if it's going to happen.
now here's
And
the big
don't forget, not only does Vandy have the history of his match with Demi and the world title, losing the world title, he's coming off a match where Travis Levitt took him to his limits as well. He's got two, and Matthews at freaking Final Destination. How much longer is Vandy going to be able to go at a top level when he throws himself into his matches like this?
that's definitely true. Now here's the big question. Since Johnny V brought this up, who do you think is going to be the one that's going to be lackluster in your view?
Yeah,
Anybody?
like the reasons you stated before, her brother's taking on the two baddest motherfuckers in the business. and possibly facing her best friend. She's got 40 pounds of gold on her shoulder. She's been partying a little too hard. I love Demi, and I always believed she could be a champion, but I got to say, Randy's got to be fucking furious. My man got to be angrier. He got to be an ornery bull right now. So I would be more inclined to say Demi, even though I know in my heart she's going to bring it. She's going to bring it. But if I had to pick one, it would be Demi, just because the girl's got a lot on her plate. She's got a lot of strings left uncut, if you want to say it that way. And I think she might have bit off a little more than she can chew. Now, mind you, she very well could pull it off. I believed in her winning last week, and here we are talking about her as the world heavyweight champion. Get it, girl. Proud of you. But I think Fields is just too pissed off. But like Lev just pointed out, Fields is coming off like what? A fucking 6-week stretch of nonstop chaos. Both of these guys got a lot on their shoulders. If I had to pick one, I'd say Demi, just because she's got her hands in a lot of cookie jars. But both of them got to be worn out at this point. Both of them have been kicking ass for a long time. Who's the first one to trip up? And like I said, I don't want to say it, but I think Demi might be the first to trip up. I hope she don't. I really hope she don't. I hope they both deliver just like they did last week. And it's such a great match that the fans and the wrestlers in the back alike are all entertained. But I'm worried. I'm worried going into this one because both of them have been kicking ass for a long time.
But also take this into account too. Riley is about to make this announcement. She told me a little advance, but she's already planning on putting the international title on the line at the Royal Rumble, which she already had. That's already planned, but she's planning on putting a ladder match and making it a fatal 4-way. And she's already planning to announce the 3 other participants this coming week. Equinox, stop typing.
Sorry, somebody was blowing in my thing, and I had to kind of answer back.
Yeah, fuck them. This is a podcast, baby. Tell them you're busy. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do.
All right, now.
Shout out whiskey to Demi and Randy Fields, to both of you. Former world champ, current world champ. You're both the shit. I love you both, and I hope both of you beat the fuck out of each other this week because I'm watching and I'm excited. So I hope neither of you falter, and I hope both of you destroy it this week. But either way, you're not going to be match of the card because this guy Lev and this guy Johnny V, they're going to be match of the card. No offense.
All right, now, Lavinator, what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to be lacking it heading to Showdown next week?
I think the JV maybe right. Maybe Demi has a lot on her plate. Maybe with the tag match, she's dropping in the national title with celebrating all this week. But at the same time, as pissed off as Randy Fields is, he's going to have that nagging voice in his head now. Demi, he's never beaten Demi. He drew her last month. He lost to her last week. Can he actually beat Demi May? This week's the test. Can he do it? If he doesn't do it this week, can he ever do it again? She's in his head now, and that's going to be a very scary thing for Randy Fields because Demi's mind is a very awesome place for me to think about going.
It's always scary. That thought's always scary. But bro, when you and I were coming up, how many guys did we see like that? Bartmans and fucking Joey Hollywoods. There's always been those guys, but it always drove us harder. So, and I think Fields has got it in him to work that into fuel, to fuel that fire. I really do. Like I said, this is a coin toss to me, just like it was last week. Like, I have no idea. This is the 2 best in WWH. And, I'd love to see both of them tag up and come give me and Love a shot. If they really want to see what the fuck they're made of, go ahead and bring it. But either way, I wish them both the best of luck. I think it's going to be a great match.
I'm going to say it right now, when the time the main event comes, me and JV, fresh off kicking the Devil's Rejects around the ring, we're going to kick up out, feed in the locker room, we're going to crack open a cold and we're going to watch the shit out of this match because it's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be getting hammered in the back. Adrian, how much security you got? How much security you got at this fucking arena? Because Lev and I are going to be getting hammered watching the main event.
We're always heavily secured, so you don't have to worry about that.
I know, but Lev is usually the head of security, and he's going to be getting hammered with your most notorious fucking atomic bomb, as known as the Real Athlete. So your head of security is hanging out with one of the most dangerous guys in the back. You're talking a shit show. I hope you have like the entire state militia ready on go because.
Well, technically, technically, he's no longer head of security since he's now.
No, he's still head of security. I'm still head of security. Just come back in the ring doesn't mean I'm giving up my head of security because you don't.
but you're a wrestler now. You signed the contract. You gave up that.
No,
I
technically not,
haven't
because
given
if
up.
you really want to think about it, old school is head of security. If you really want to think about it, we're the protectors of the business. And if you get out of line, you're going to have two gargantuan legends beating on your ass for disrespecting the business. So technically, we're both head of security now.
All right. Okay.
Scared? No, I
So
know
what
you're
are you guys,
scared.
the old school Avengers?
No, we're not old school Avengers. We're just old school. We're just old school. We're giants, man. We're global icons and international treasures. Thank you, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We are the best in the business, and we're going to keep that line going. Plain and simple. You cross the boss, we whoop your ass. End of story.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Equinox. Who do you think is going to be lacking it heading to Showdown? Demi May or Randy Fields?
Travis and JV, they both had, or Levinator and JV had very valid points. Randy, he's gonna be pissed. He's never beaten Demi. Demi's gonna be mind fucking with him. Demi, however, she's got so much on her plate. So it's a hard toss up. But if anything, I know how Randy likes to push himself. He's going to most undoubtedly push himself and most likely come out on top with this win. So, Demi, I'm sorry. I love you, girl, but I don't see you walking out of this match. Randy will be the one that's focused.
Oh, that's probably a good point there. I mean, I think, JB, would you agree that it's probably a good thing that Demi's not on this week with us since she's still celebrating her victory?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to say it's a very good thing Demi's not on this week because she'd just
She's
be,
probably busy giving blowjobs. Fuck it. Get world champion.
oh, Equinox, no.
Oh, gee.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, now you're
wow.
gonna have to come back next week to defend that statement. I've gotten in a fight with that girl. Listen to podcast 11. I've done gotten in it with that girl, but you might have a problem there, son. Shit, you might have to come back next week. I want to hear the return on that. She's gonna have a receipt for you, buddy.
Oh,
Woo!
that, yeah, that, I think once she hears this episode, she's going to be like, I want his ass on the podcast next week. Like, she's going to probably call you out.
Equinox, out of curiosity, when you come to Showdown this week, I'd probably try and wear, like one of those goofy mustache masks where she can't tell it's you.
Yeah.
You mean try to disguise myself and act like
Yeah,
I'm afraid? Be worried?
yeah. I'd be worried if I was coming to
Demi,
Showdown this week after that statement.
Demi and I love each other too much. We respect each other. And yes, she's been giving people shit. She's even giving me shit off the podcast. So I'm pretty sure she can understand. For once, I'm actually giving somebody shit. I have to.
Good job. Get it, bro. Now you're getting the podcast. You're fine.
I've dealt with it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and
I'm
weeks.
talking about right now. You're a half hour in. You're getting the mojo. You're getting the mojo. Talk that shit. Be it. Get it. Go. That's awesome. All right. So what's next? Royal Rumble, right? Right, boss man. You want to talk about the Royal Rumble?
Well, let's talk about the Royal Rumble. All right, now let's talk about the international title for a little bit because even though Demi won the world title, she still hasn't really said anything about the international. Is she going to drop it? Is she going to defend it? However, like Riley said, she told me that there's going to be a match for for the international title. It was going to be a fatal 4-way ladder match, and she been mentioning that she already kind of told me two names, so I'll just say them on here. It's gonna be Nick Sanderson, and also, and she's trying to decide either Equinox or Ryan Payne. Both of them have done well with their records, and they both prove that they're up there, that they earned the title shot. So she's still trying to decide. Maybe she'll just say fuck it and just add both of them. But again, we don't know until we hear what Demi's going to do with the title. She actually may drop the title. Who knows? I mean, if
Hey,
you,
after Showdown, that might be the only title she got left. Who knows? That's everything's up in the air right now.
that's a good point. Now, Equinox, if Riley does put you in the international title match, what is your thoughts going into it? Because it is a fatal 4-way, it is a ladder match, which is basically anything goes. There'll probably be tables thrown in there or even chairs. It'll probably just become a TLC match, to be honest, even though
Hell,
it's even though it's a ladder match.
put it on the card as a TLC match. I don't care. Ladders are my specialty. I have never lost a ladder match. The only person who ever really gave me a challenge in a ladder match was Chris Matthews in another company. And guess what? He was never beat in a ladder match. I beat him in a ladder match, stipulation kind of match. I'm that confident when it comes to a ladder match, especially when it's got something of my goals. The international title is something I wanted to obtain before the World Championship. Not out of disrespect to the World Championship, but the international title is something to say, hey, I'm here. I'm sticking around. I'm gonna go places. I'm gonna become world champion. I'm going to carry it to other places. I'm going to defend it there. That's the kind of champion I want to be. And I'm going to be that.
Now let's
Mark my
now
words.
okay now since Riley mentioned Nick Sanderson, you and him are good friends now. Is that also in the same thing, kind of like the Royal Rumble match? Is friendship going to go out the window when it comes to,
Friendship.
you know what I mean?
Well, that is a touchy subject because Nick and I have been friends on and off for about a year now, and he's somebody I can see. He could throw me out. I could throw him out. But the point is, I think at the end of the day, as long as we get back to fans, we both win.
Okay.
And
No,
unfortunately,
he wasn't talking about the
I
Rumble though.
learned
He's not talking about the Rumble match. He's talking about for the title with the ladder on the line. Would it matter that way?
that way. That's a
Yeah,
different story.
when there's 20 pounds of gold hanging from the rafters and you both want it, and let's say the other two guys are knocked out, are you willing to kick his teeth in to get that title? You willing to look your friend in the eye and kick his teeth in? Now, mind you, while I say this, Big Lev can support this. Lev and I in the past have beat the shit out of each other. He's turned his back on me. I turned my back on him. We both regret it to this day. We're still very dear friends, but business is business, and you got to do what you got to do. So the question to you is, can you do what you got to do when one of your best friends is looking across from you?
First, you're gonna have to excuse me, Adrian, because I did have a little bit of liquor before I came on to the podcast. That's why I had to leave away for a little bit.
Well,
Okay.
Because I
man,
actually
don't
wanted to
mind. I
get
have
my
a
voice
lot of
out.
liquor for every
A
podcast.
little bit
Don't worry.
before you came on
But yeah,
podcast. JV's
if
sitting
I'm
there drinking from a
facing
damn bottle right now.
I'm gonna have a shot right now just because I said that. Fuck
facing
it.
Nick, if I'm facing Ryan, if I'm facing Demi, I don't care who the fuck my opponent is in that ladder match. I will kick their faces in with a super kick. They will live and then they will die by that same move.
There we
Nick
go.
Sanderson,
That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Now
respectfully,
you got
don't
that. Get it.
he
And
will not walk out of the Rumble with the international title. That is
so
where I am going.
There
so
you go.
this week on Showdown, you're going to show just how confident you are against CM Punk.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the tag titles for a little bit.
Oh, let's please do. Let's please do.
All right. Now, is this the reformation of the Cowboys from Hell, or is this just Johnny V. Eliminator? First off,
No, we're old school, baby. Old
just
school. Market
that's
it. Stop calling it Johnny V and Lev. It's old school. We represent what this business was meant to be. You can go ahead and call us the old timers. All you motherfuckers out there can cut your promos saying we got to put our dentures in and drink our Metamucil and put our diapers on. Get in a ring with us and we'll fuck you up, plain and simple. We're the old guard and we're bringing respect back to the business. Cross us. Please, I'm begging you. Shot of whiskey to the JVster and Lev.
all right. Now, let's give credit where credits is due. You know, the Bullet Club are the current tag team champions, and so obviously they beat the Devil's Rejects for it. Jay Gordon and Tio, they let's give a little brief history. They both were two random people, but then they just started talking, became friends, and now I guess you could say they're dating. Uh, and of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, we don't judge, we don't do anything. We encourage that kind of thing, right? I mean, this is how the world is nowadays, correct?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Well,
so
according to Andy Fields, how you and him are, so you wouldn't want to judge.
now with obviously Jay Gordon and Tio, they're going to be watching this match coming up. They're because basically whoever wins, that's who they're facing at the Royal Rumble. Uh, do you two have any messages for Jake and Tio?
Lev, you go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
Look, we don't have a problem with the Bullet Club. You know, they are who they are. They're obviously the champions right now. That's great for them. They've got the gold. The problem is when you have the gold, you have a nice bullseye on your back. And me and Jay Vista, we've got a history of putting our foots right through those bullseyes. So, boys, come to the Royal Rumble. Lace your boots. Make sure the soles of them are nice and shiny because they're going to be looking at the ceiling for 3 seconds.
Hot
Uh,
damn. Hot damn, 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 damn. The boy couldn't be more right if he was wrong. Let's put it that way. Here's the deal, boys. When he talks about bullet on the back, you got to realize that. And when he says bullet on the back, you're talking, Lev, how many world titles you had? How many, baby? Tell
10.
me. 10. All right, I got 11. You're talking 21 World Heavyweight Wrestling Championships. You're talking about guys that know a thing or two about bullets on your back. We know when to look over our shoulders. Here's the problem. The two toughest bitches in wrestling today just decided to get together and look over each other's shoulders for each other. You got to be scared. You have to be frightened. You got to wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweat. So, Bullet Club, I won't address you right now because I'm going to save some material for when that time comes. Make no bones about it. But if you don't think we're going to beat the holy fuck out of you and make you our bitches, you got another thing coming. But until then, Kobe and Xavier, lace them up tight, put on a fresh pair of trunks, get your panties nice and clean because we're about to take you to goddamn school.
Now, here's a good question that I just have to ask because let's just go into theory mode here for a second. What happens if you two lose against the Devil's Rejects? Are you guys gonna take it? Are you guys just gonna, be like, "Hey, we lost. What are you
You
gonna
want to hear
do?"
on the podcast if the old school loses to the Devil's Rejects, Johnny V will retire. There you go. Put it on the podcast. Shot of whiskey for my retirement if that fucking shit happens. That's how confident I am in the skill set that has evolved into what it is. This isn't some I just, Lev picked me up out of a gutter drunk one night, which has happened many a time. I'm not gonna
Many a
lie.
time. Many a time.
Many a time. But if you don't think that Lev and I have been planning this for quite a long time, we've been waiting in the wings, just waiting. And we've decided this is the one demographic. We could have came back anywhere. We could have said international title needs to get picked up. One of us has got to go for it. The world title, we're tired of Randy Fields, or there's just not enough competition. We could have done it. No, there's a reason we're going for the tag title because it pisses us off that there's not enough talent in that division. And if there's going to be anybody to hold that title, it's got to be someone worthwhile, and we're sick and tired of it. So we're going for it. So you heard it here right now on the podcast. Kobe and Xavier, you beat us on Showdown. I'll fucking retire, mark my words. I won't be gone. Boss man, you know you're going to hire me the next goddamn week as commissioner or some bullshit. But I will retire from professional wrestling if them two some bitches pin my shoulders to the mat.
Or if they beat me in JV, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to walk the fuck out. That's head of security. That's wrestler. I'm gone. I will hand over my Hall of Heroes plaque and give it to them if they beat me. But here's the thing. I've had a month of Colby in my face pissing me off. Jay Vista knows. You piss off Lemonade once, you get a slight kicking. You spend a month in my face? Oh, dear boy, you're going to need something to wipe him off the mat.
That was very surprising that you were very, I guess the right word would be patient with Colby during that whole month with because we've been seeing it on Showdown. I'm like, and Riley talked to me going like, I don't know if that's smart of Kobe to mess around with Lev like that. Like, he's very surprised that you were putting up with it as much as you did.
Well, of course. I mean, look at it. First off, how are you surprised at his patience? His best friend is the Johnny V. So, I mean, come on. He's got to have patience.
That's what I mean. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, he's got to have patience if he's dealing with me. Number two, Kobe, I'll give you credit. I've taken Lev's right hand and his left hand, and I'd rather go stand in the middle of a fucking freeway. No joke. The guy's no fucking joke. These guys are dumb. They're dumb. And now you throw me into the mix. There's a reason why Lev and I are saying we'll walk the fuck out and not saying we're going to take our ball and run home. But if these guys beat us, we don't deserve to be here no more. That's what we're saying. That's what we're fucking saying.
The reason I was able to be so patient was actually because of this week on Showdown. Because I knew that with all the trash talking Colby did, The minute he realised exactly how much doo doo his mouth had gotten him into, oh, that was a priceless moment.
Now, here's a good
So
question. Now, here's a good question. Obviously, there's been a little bit of tension with the Devil's Rejects. Uh, Colby, I mean, when Devil's Rejects faced against Bullet Club, there was a little moment. I'm sure you two watched. Obviously, you two watched the match, and there was a moment where, since Xavier was yelling at Kobe to hurry or hit the finisher, and Kobe seemed very hesitant to do it, and it didn't happen. Do you think that if the Devil's Rejects lose, that they could possibly split up or even turn on each other?
I think that Colby hesitated at the wrong moment. It cost him the tag titles. And I'm guessing Xavier's sick and tired of having to get his ass kicked for Colby's mouth being open. So I'm pretty sure Xavier's getting tired of him.
All right. Now, Equinox. Let's talk to you for a little bit. You a while back, you helped Nick Sanderson get into WWH, and you two were actually thinking of team up to be going to go after the tag titles. Is that still a thing, or have things
that is
changed?
very much a thing.
Okay, so you have a tag team right here. What do you? I mean, and even though Sanderson is not here, I don't know if you're representing him per se, but let's just say you're representing yourself for right now. What do you have to say to these two guys as far as the tag titles go?
Lev, JV, I wish you the best of luck out there. I know you guys don't need it, but I do wish you the best of luck in your tag match. And if you do win the World Tag Team titles, I want you to respectfully keep an eye out because Nick and I will come in there. We'll eventually face you. It won't be out of hate, won't be out of disliking. It'll be out of pure respect for you two because you did basically create this company with your own two hands. And now it's time for some kind of young tag team, such as me and Nick, to come in there and become World Tag Team Champions. I haven't held World Tag Team Gold in 6 years, and it's about time to hold some Tag Team Championship Gold. Nick, I'm very certain he'd love to hold some Tag Team Gold, especially with yours truly.
Well, there you go. A tag team talking to the possibly future world tag team champions.
Exactly. If you're feeling jumpy, be a rabbit, go grab it. That's all there is to it. So I'm the biggest advocate of Nick Sanderson. Obviously, I've pissed off a lot of people. Why does the real athlete always focus on Nick Sanderson? There's a reason. The kid's fucking that good. So if he wants a shot, come and get some, son. Come and get some.
Now let's talk a little bit of Showdown, or recap, I
We were
guess you could
still on the
say.
Rumble. We were still on the Rumble, right?
Yeah, but
We talked about
we
we
already
talked
talked
about international. We talked about the tag. Is that's all that's set right now? Because the world title obviously is in flux. We don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, basically, and of course, there's the 30-person Royal Rumble
We
match.
all kind of hinted on because Lev's not in it. Equinox is. I said my piece. So that's where the card is. There's nothing left to discuss.
Well, we could say who's in it so far, as far as the
Yeah,
Royal
go on.
Rumble
Why don't you just give
matches.
a list of real quick who's in it? Because I haven't been caught up here. I know I was one of the first, but who else is in this right now?
All right. So far, there's 16 people in the Royal Rumble match so far. We've got
And how many spots are left open?
14.
14. It's a full 30. All right.
Yep. We've got Johnny V, Tio Jacoba, Travis Levitt, Ryan Payne, Chris Matthews, Stefan Rab, Niobe Martin, The Rock. I'm hearing typing.
And you're
Ni-
good, sweetie. Keep
yeah.
going.
All right. Naomi Martin, The Rock, Nick Sanderson, John Blade, Jay Gordon, Blackout, Ashley Blaze, Chris Kane, Jacob Cass, and Equinox.
Okay. So let me make this very clear. You just listed off all the names. So to all of you that were just listed, you're safe. But to every other motherfucker on this goddamn roster, why are you not jumping on this opportunity? I'm pissed. This is the Royal Rumble. This is a shot to go to WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship of the world. Why are you not there? Why are
Well,
you not grasping this by the balls? Why wasn't the 30 spots filled the day you announced this goddamn thing? And these guys, and Boss Man, Lev, we've talked, plenty of guys out there. You guys don't give us enough credit on the fucking podcast. You guys don't talk about these guys on the podcast. This is why. because the shot's open. There's 14 spots. Who the fuck is man enough to shut up and step in? Period. Enough talking, folks. Let's get to walking. See who man's up. Right now, challenge made by the JVster. Fill the fucking Rumble up, folks, if you want to be something.
And not only
How
that
many
is
more stinking spots do we have left to fill?
we just
14.
said 14.
It's a
And
joke.
and not only that, we also had it's a memorial Royal Rumble match too. It's to benefit somebody, and obviously I guess he wasn't that in, I guess nobody was
Ryan
really.
Reigns.
Yeah, it was for Ryan Reigns, of course, but it seems like you would think, like JB said, it would fill the spots up instantly, but it seems like either the roster is scared to get in there or they're just like, I've got my own stuff to worry about.
Well, technically, you said there's 14 spots left. Was that including Equinox? Because he said he was in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's including Equinox.
Okay, cool. All right. No, it's cool. My point still remains. Assholes, you talk about wanting to be mentioned on the podcast. You talk about wanting to be somebody. Enter the Rumble. End of story. So there's our Rumble talk.
Yep.
Or beat one of the 3 people that's actually on the freaking main roster.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a question for the Rumble: Are Demolition guys able to put their name in the Rumble?
Yeah, there's
Just out of
demolition.
curiosity.
Yeah, we've got demolition guys in the Rumble too. That includes the 16. We've John
That just
Blade.
makes it even worse. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Yeah, we've got John Blade, Blackout, The Rock.
Oh, there's my dark horse for the Royal Rumble, John Blade. Go get it, bro. A shot of whiskey to John Blade winning the Royal Rumble. Let's see it. WrestleMania. John Blade go over the
How-
world
how
I
title.
would
good is,
so love to see John Blade in the main event of WrestleMania. He would steal the show right there.
Yes, he would. He really would. It'll be like the dream match, you could say. You know, like whether it be Demi, whether it be Fields, it'll be the dream match. That's all I gotta say about
How
that.
about his alter ego with boobs?
Oh, that's we'll probably see. I don't know. Is he? He's a face, I believe. He's a good guy. So, I think if he did win the Royal Rumble, that he's gonna become a bad guy because of that ego. I'm just saying. You know, I'm just pointing that
Okay,
out.
boss man, we
He'll
got
put
you on the
Brady in
podcast
with
right now.
7-minute series with fucker.
Boss man, you on the podcast right now? Let's put you on the spot. If Dairy May beats Randy Fields and retains her title, what's the world title picture at the Rumble?
Well,
Excellent question.
Couldn't.
it would probably be for. I think at this moment it will probably be Demi May versus Equinox, because Equinox, as I may have to force him to be in the world title match, because at that point you can't. There's no more waiting. There's no more being patient. No more
I'm
waiting.
confused. What the fuck are you talking about?
I said if they asked me if the world title match, if Demi May retains, you would be facing her technically because you're still a number one contender, but I would force you to probably face her because we're not going to be waiting on you anymore.
But didn't you just say
I
that
told you
Equinox isn't
fuckers
number
I
one
cashed in
contender
at the
to?
Royal Rumble.
But that's if Fields wins. If Fields wins, then Equinox will probably be most likely be in the international if that were to happen.
But what confuses the fuck out of me is what if Randy beats Demi at
Right.
the Rumble
Then
and
the,
somebody wins the Rumble match?
Well, then Demi would obviously, as the former champ that just lost, she'd have an automatic rematch clause. That goes back to the whole beginning of the podcast when Bossman was asking you, why didn't you use your title shot all these months ago? Because there's so many threads being pulled here. He needs to know because now you've got rematch clause. Why do you think you're not taking on Demi this week? Because Randy just lost. He's got a rematch clause. So you're fitting into this triangle right now. That's what he's trying to say.
mm-hmm. In other words, you should have said, "I'm the number one contender. I'm coming after you first." That's
I mean, from a money standpoint, honestly, my opinion, Jay Veester, you don't have the title on the line at all at the Royal Rumble. Shocker. Here you go. The focus of the Rumble, number one, is the Rumble itself. That's the main event. Am I not correct? I mean, that's the show of the night. I mean, even if there is a world title match, it's going on before the Rumble. The Rumble's the biggest part of the deal.
Of course.
So, number one, if Fields wins or Demi wins, if Fields wins, Demi's the obvious choice. But I mean, honestly, you're talking within a 3-4 week span, we're going to have seen 3 of these matches. As a fan, already getting kind of tired of it. Slow it down. All right. Number 2, if Demi wins and Equinox is the champion, now you're taking Equinox out of the Intercontinental, or Equinox is not going to be a part of the Royal Rumble. You're altering other matches for the sake of an angle that can be carried on farther down the line. Gimmicks can hold place, but a card has to carry on. So, is there really? My question is, what's happening down the line in the Rumble?
Oh my God, so much shuffling.
That was
JV,
me.
if I may, I have a solution for Mr. Watchtower over here, Mr. Adrian, whatever you want to call him. You say you want to put me in the international ladder match. Let me use my number one contender spot for that match.
Okay.
I will gladly use it for that match.
Okay. Is this final? Like, final answer?
With me.
Okay. All right. That takes care of that. Now,
settles that. The thing is so basically what it comes down to is if Randy Fields wins on Showdown, Royal Rumble would obviously be Randy Fields versus Demi May again.
Yeah.
But if Demi wins, there's really no clear number one contender. And I would say push it back a little bit. Just let it sit, because the focus of the Royal Rumble is who is the number one contender. That's the purpose of the Rumble.
So
who is the number one contender?
So you're suggesting no world title match at the Royal Rumble.
Pretty much.
That would be a first in a way.
Or make Demi May take on John Blade. Shot of whiskey for John Blade. Go get it, bro.
That would probably boost up his ego a little bit.
I'm hoping for a Demi May versus John Blade main event at the Royal Rumble. That's what I'm. This is a shot for Demi May versus John Blade at the Royal Rumble. You motherfuckers can get it. Do it. Get it. Be it. See it. Got it.
Levinator, what do you think of that?
Me and Lev beat the shit out of the Bullet Club. No offense, boys, but we'll get there when we get
there. I think JV's got it right. In one way, you'd almost... There's not really anyone that can face Demi if Randy loses in the rematch. At the same time, there's a lot of people that want to face Demi if Randy loses in the rematch. But that's what the Rumble's for, to determine the number one contender for Mania. So either you let Demi choose an opponent or you give Demi the night off.
Knowing her, she's probably going to be stressed out because, like I said, if Devil Rejects win, she's basically going to be watching her best friend face against her brothers. And not only that, her best friend's in the Royal Rumble match itself, too. Is her mind mentally going to be there, even if she is in a match? That's the big question.
That's my point. Both these guys been going hard. They've been going hard. The champ needs a break for a little bit. And the purpose of a Rumble is the Rumble. It's the Rumble. It's the 30 guys. Why did I do a little promo before about get your shit together? Sign up for it. Because I'm pissed off. This is the point of the show. A giant 30-man clusterfuck. Where the fuck is everybody? Right now we got half a room full. We're talking about an orgy, baby. And we're missing half the crowd. Get your shit together. It's not about the world title. It's about who goes on to WrestleMania with that shot.
Yep.
Boss, if I may be so bold, how far are we into the Hardcore Championship finals? Are we into the finals?
Yeah. It was Killer versus what's his name?
Kurt Orton versus Killer. That's the finals.
It was one of the Ortons. You pick a name.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Orton versus Killer.
Is it possible we can move it to the Royal Rumble?
Well, that's...
idea.
Well, maybe, but Demolition is more of a development brand. I mean, back then when WWE was around, you never really saw OVW, people on the main roster doing things. You know what I mean? But then again, apparently Killer was on Showdown this week, and he basically said that he has a rematch clause for the international title, which kind of
Never mind.
that kind of flew over everybody's heads. Uh, Riley almost forgot about that since she sent him to demolition. Uh,
What the hell is going on? You just need a piece of paper to say you're eligible for something.
I
if you do remember Johnny V, I mean, you were
I
there at
don't remember shit. That's why I'm teaming with Lev. He remembers it. I just do it.
Well, if you were there at Final Destination. I mean, Demi did beat Killer for the international, but Killer was the champion. So Killer is now on demolition, but he still technically has that rematch clause.
Did Killer agree to go to demolition?
He was just sent there.
It was said, okay. So now you got a convoluted mess. So yeah, figure that out, bro. That's why you get paid the big bucks. That's why you sign the checks. Your job, not mine. Thank you.
Of course. Is now. We're already about to end the show. Is there any final statements from all three of you? We'll start with
Oh, a hush
Equinox.
falls over the crowd. I didn't want to jump in there. I was hoping someone else would jump in.
Nick,
I,
Timmy, whoever the fuck is in this international title match, come the World Rumble, you're in for the fight of your freaking lives. I'm gonna
there you
climb that
go.
ladder. I'm gonna walk out with the international title, and when it's all said and done, I'll gladly shake your hands at the end of it. Then I'll go around and make it as important as the world title. That is the goal for me, and that's just the way it's gonna be. So you can like it, you can love it, but on the end, you could step back and look at it.
There you go.
I've only got a simple message. I'll see you on Thursday, Kobe.
Oh, there you go. Here's my message. Equinox is the man. I know me and you were supposed to butt heads tonight, but I'm proud of you, bro. This podcast started off, you were kind of the drizzling shits. No offense. You started out a little bit slow, but you gained momentum. You gained momentum and you got a little bit of confidence. And I'm proud of you for where you stand right now. I hope you beat the shit out of CM Punk this week. I hope you cash in that title and you go get that international title because you can effing do it if you want it. If you want it. Outside of that, like Lev said, Kobe, Xavier, little men, you squirrely old bitches. I hope you lace them boots up tight. I hope you got a fresh pair of drawers. I hope you clean your civvies. You better be goddamn ready, because when that music hits and old school walks down that ramp, you're in for a whole new mode of thinking. And if you ain't ready for that, you better be able to reevaluate your entire goddamn lives.
And let's give a few shout outs because we didn't really talk about Showdown recap as well. But let's just give a couple of shout outs. We got to give shout outs to Jacob Cass. He beat Niklaus Frost. Also, Luvia Luna. She beat.
Jacob Cass is awesome. Just so you know, Cass, awesome. I feel bad. I get this feedback. Oh, you don't talk about it. No, all you talk about is Nick Sanders. Nick Sanders. No, Jacob Cass, good fucking kid. Keep it up, bro.
Also, Luvia Luna. She beat Ashley Blaze.
Get it?
Um, Ashley Renee beat Naomi Martin. That was actually a pretty good match. That was a really good
Damn
match.
right. Damn right. Ashley, Demi, and I are drinking buddies. Ashley, girl, you go fucking kill it. You've been doing awesome. Keep up the good work.
And that's one name I'd probably throw in for that international title match. She's doing really well, and I think she's getting the momentum. As everyone knows, I love me some Ashley Renee.
I mean, also, it seems like this was her week to show that she can get back on track because her match against Nick Sanderson, you could tell she was devastated when she lost that match, and this week against Naomi Martin, she put up a good fight too. So we got to give her credit for that as well. But Ashley, her mindset was like, gotta she was on she needed she she, she was pissed. Let's just say that she was very pissed.
Chipping over your words a bit there, boss man.
Now,
Yeah,
before we cut this off, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Adrian, I was hoping, and I already talked with this about a bunch of people, we could do a few minutes of silence because my little brother 4 days ago he committed suicide and he shot himself. So I feel like we should honor him because he was a huge fan of WWH. He was a huge fan of JV. He was a huge fan of Travis, and that's why I gave so much oomph towards our match this last week.
Okay.
Now, CM Punk,
I don't have a problem with that.
you're
Matter
in
of
for a
fact, here
knee
you
to the
go.
face.
For him, the JVs are going to have a shot just for him, and then we can do that moment of silence. So here's to him.
All right. There's a shot, and here we go. Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. Now, next week, a lot of things are happening. Obviously, Randy Field says that he's going to come back on the podcast next week. So the big question is, will he return as the world champion or will he fail? And obviously, it goes the same way with Demi too, because Demi's going to be on the podcast next week as well. So,
Oh, God. So it's Fields, Demi, Lev. I'm sure you're going to be here. You
I'll be
always
here.
got the
I'm gonna
JVs, too.
try.
Greatness of all times, always here. This
so
is going to be a shit show. Talking about an 8-man clusterfuck again. That's awesome. I'm going to get drunk off my ass like I haven't already, but I'll get worse. I'll fall asleep halfway through, and y'all have to pick me off the counter. Lev, be ready. Flex that. Do those shoulder shrugs like I taught you. Shoulder
I
shrugs.
don't need to
Get that
do any
shit going.
shoulder things. I'm already well and truly used to having to pick your drunk ass up and carry you out of
I know.
buildings.
Hey, we both get the same doctor. We get that human growth hormone. It's fucking great. Don't worry about it.
okay. All right.
Adrian, don't drug test.
Okay.
Oh, boss, bro, don't worry about it. Hey, as a parting note, I just want to give a shout out to everybody kicking ass and taking names. Like I said before, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I know guys out there bitching and moaning about not getting mentioned on the podcast. Here's the deal: the real athlete knows who you are. Boss, bro, this guy knows who you are. We all know who you are. We got to fill an hour and a half window. We got to cover 3 fucking different topics. We got to talk about a handful of shit. I know I espouse on guys like Nick Sanderson and Randy Fields and Demi and all these. There's a reason, because they're the cream of the fucking crop. And when you're at the top, that's what we talk about. Don't feel left out. Don't feel like you're not a part of the gang. You are. WWH isn't about cliques. It's about a family. We're all here. There's a reason. It was fate that brought me back to this place. There was a reason Lev came back to this place. We're a community. We're not cliques. We're not groups. We are a goddamn family. You're in or you're out. So to all of you out there, bring it. Just fucking bring it. And on a final side note, sign up for the fucking Royal Rumble, please. End of story. You can sign off now, boss bro. Message sent.
All right.
Come on, I want to deliver some more super kicks to all your faces. Please sign up so I can super kick you all.
All right. And on that note, let's call it a night. I would like to thank Johnny V, Levinator, and Equinox for this week's podcast. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, and Facebook us as WWH Fed. Make sure to follow these guys on Twitter, and if you want, I know Johnny V's not into it, but I'm talking Levinator and Equinox too. Make sure to do it. Make sure to follow them on Showdown too, because they
Exactly.
are.
If you want the real athlete, get on Plenty of Fish or Match.com. Come get at me, girls. Come get at me. Top Florida Marriott, girls 18 to 24. Leave your husbands and boyfriends at the door. Ric Flair taught me well all those years ago. I ain't a dumb sumbitch. Come bring it.
And
I just got to say that Equinox, you played a perfectly good Demi this week without the tits.
okay.
Good point.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to say something. I was like, hey, the kid brought it. The kid actually brought it. He definitely brought it. Good job.
All right.
Well, I'm busy having Baron on this side, Demi on that side, you 4 over there. So I'm just like, fuck it. I've been keeping quiet for the longest time, baiting my time, you know? It's
All right.
finally good to let it out.
All right. And on that note, we will see you this Monday on Demolition as it's taking place in Philadelphia, I believe. So make sure.
City of Brotherly Love.
Yeah.
We're going to
So-
party, love. Levy. We're going to
Make
party,
sure to bring
baby.
dude love with you,
Of course
JV.
we are.
Yeah,
Of
and
Oh,
course we're
give
going
me
to party, JV. We're going to be the new number one contenders to the tag titles. We're going to knock the house down.
exactly.
so
Oh, 3 in the morning cheesesteaks. Here we come.
so we will see
Hey,
you.
just for a change of place, JV, you can carry me out of the bar at the end of the night.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna switch it up. Just to let you know, bro. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
get
go
hammered.
with.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
kick
care
his
both
neck
of you.
ass.
All right. So, like I said, we will see you in Philadelphia for at the Giants Center for Demolition, and then we will see you at Columbus, Ohio, at Nationwide Center for Showdown. So, make sure to tune in, and we will see you next week on the podcast. Have a good one, everyone.